how has your year started? Because we were going to do this in Tamworth and we've been just going crazy. So how have you been?
I've been good, thank you. It was so nice to see you in Tamworth. That was lovely to catch up. And even though we didn't get to do this part, we got to hang out a little bit.
Yeah.
So nice. And I feel like that's such a nice way to start the year because you get to catch up with people that sometimes you haven't seen for the whole year. But it's great being back in Tamworth. It was such a great festival, lots of familiar faces, lots of great music. So it's been a really, really good start to the year. And yes, it is crazy that we're at the end of February. It's nuts.
No, it's funny because we talk about Tamworth all year long. It's just, it feels like it's just such a part of us. And I'm like you, it starts off the year. It's almost like it starts off the year correctly. Like it's just, this is how the year's going to be. And it's like you start so heavy and so hard, then you're like, oh my gosh, now I've got to keep it up.
Yeah. I know you start on such a high and then you're like, oh, that's right. Normal life comes back as well. Not just festival lifestyle,
I know. Yes. And look, it wasn't too hot this year. Did you I actually had a really good time.
I think the only day that I really struggled was the Thursday afternoon when I had my fan zone show. I feel like that was when it made me at its highest. And I was on stage and I was like, this is hot. And like I'm thinking people have been sitting out watching all day in the heat. Like there were such troopers sitting out there. Thankfully there was shade. But it was, I remember just like feeling like just the sweat dripping down my face.
Yes.
Like
I remember watching your set, and it was, if I could see like you were just doing so well, but I was standing there watching you and sweaty. So I don't know how you did it. That was all the whole time that I watched that stage. I'm like, how are they still standing?
Thankfully, they're short stints, so you can get off and like chug some water. That's why between every song, I'm like, I just need a drink. I just need some water. It's fun. And Tamworth is hot and it's sweaty, and that's the fun of it. Everyone knows that. But it was nice this year that it didn't stay like, the last year was 44 degrees, 43 degrees. So to not have that like prolonged heat was nice. And then come the Golden Guitars the night when you're all dressed up, and ready to go. It was nice that the makeup wasn't sweating off my face. But that's the fun. That's the fun.
It was so good. And I agree. For the first time, I think, probably, I don't know if it was not last year, but the year before wasn't too bad heat-wise either. But normally, like, I don't get ready makeup-wise or hair-wise until I just have to run out the door for Golden Guitars because it just drips off you.
Yeah, it does. It really does.
And I saw you. I got to see you on the day that you had your fan zone. We got to see you at the Golden Guitars, and how much fun was that show? It was so good this year.
Oh, it was amazing. It was a really lovely celebration of country music, a lot of beautiful moments shared, and I think, multiple times in the room where there was, lots of tears and laughter and all the emotions. So I think it was really beautiful. It always is. It's always something with the band.
Absolutely.
Very special.
Did you get the Maccas? Were you close enough to get Maccas?
No, I didn't get Maccas. No, I didn't get Maccas, but I did go buy Maccas up. I will say.
Me too. We all did, because I think we watched everyone eating it and we're going, I'm really hungry now.
Every year I go get Maccas after. That's just how it works. Post Golden get some food.
And it's so close. Maccas is just around the corner. Like you just go out the car park and you're there. How can you not?
Absolutely. It's probably the only time of year I actually eat Maccas, but I'm like, this is the best.
Yeah, it is. It is. And when I thought that was gold, it was the first time I've seen them do that, and I've seen so many Golden Guitar Awards, but that was just so funny watching that come in. And the other, I was a little bit jealous because I really wanted that Wiggles shirt.
Oh, right.
How cool was that?
Cool.
Oh.
So good. I just loved that the Wiggles were there all together. Like, honestly, it was such novelty. I was like, it's the Wiggles.
I know. At the red carpet party, everybody's like, can we have photos? Can we have photos? It's so
good. I think it was awesome. It was a very special event, and I feel like to have appearances from the Wiggles and different people that are not solely in country music is such a good sign of how the industry is going, and showing that, there's a lot of interest in country music, and it's just growing and growing and growing at such a fast rate that, the Wiggles were there.
I know. And they've gone country, because look at the album that they've got coming out, and it just shows how ahead we were in Australian country music, because how many years ago did Slim record with them?
Exactly.
We have been ahead here Wiggles, that's right. We know our music.
Absolutely. We sure do. We sure do. And we've got some people here. Hey,
We do
Kaz.
have lots of people popping in. Now we've got Kaz.
Yeah.
Welcome, Kaz. I didn't get to catch up with Kaz this year, and it feels really strange that I didn't see her because it's kind of like my yearly thing.
I know. I didn't see you. I know you were there, Kaz. I was following all your social media, but I didn't see you in real life.
I know. It was just one of those years, wasn't it? Ronnie, how are you? Tamworth hot? Nah, she said. No.
Not at all.
Gary has popped in to say hi.
See you.
Tell us in the comments where you're from, everybody. Let us know what you've been listening to this week.
Yeah.
What have you got planned? Because as you said, and congratulations too, because how many years in a row have you taken out that award now? Those awards. You've left with one from there every year for 3 or 4 years?
3 years, which is amazing and mind-blowing. And I was just mortified that this year I was backstage getting ready to perform because I was performing and I missed it when they announced that I was the winner.
Did they tell you before you went out? Did someone grab you and say?
Well, because I was backstage, I was like, okay, I've got to perform at like 20 past 10, and I know I'm presenting the male award as well. So, I'll wait backstage, I'll warm up with the guitarist, knowing that, they'll let me know when they need me. So I was like, oh, just getting ready, minding my own business. And then they're like, Courtney, you just won. And I was like, oh no, wait, what?
You didn't get out there to get it?
No, I didn't. I ran up the stairs but didn't make it in time. But then they're like, it's like, we'll redo it again. So we redid it just before I performed, which was lovely. I was very embarrassed, but it was a good story and a good memory.
Exactly right. And how good is it?
I really was.
Building, it's gorgeous, and you deserve it. But that building, when you were warming up backstage, like if you're anything like me, when you're in there and backstage at that venue, like it's just takes over you. It's just such a special place.
Beautiful. And like performing on that stage, it's just one of those venues that sounds beautiful, like when you sing and there, all the music, the drums, the guitars, it just the acoustic in the room is really nice.
It is gorgeous. I just, every time I'm there, I just, goosebumps. It's just one of those. And I think knowing the history of Australian music so much, because that place has been around for such important events.
Absolutely. It's so special. Very, very special. And I think that's the cool thing about Tamworth. There's so much history everywhere, really. So it's pretty amazing.
It is very amazing. Now, I saw you, I was always following you on your social media, but you did get to have a chat to one of our favourite artists, an Australian artist that doesn't live here anymore. That was very lucky. Great timing.
I know. Happened to run into Mr. Keith Urban himself, which was pretty cool. I feel very lucky that I got just that short little hello with him, but it was lovely. Like such a nice down to earth guy. It was purely the day I was going to pick up my tickets for the Golden Guitar Awards, and he was there doing his Hands of Fame induction, essentially. Oh, well, not the Hands of Fame, getting inducted into the Hall of Renown. That's the word.
Yeah. Did you see that? Did you see the plaque?
I saw the plaque from a distance, but it was lovely. I was standing there, and Tim Curtin and his wife, they were all standing there as well, and we were just kind of having a chat, like, oh, I wonder if he'll come over and say hi. And sure enough, he did. Came over, said hello, had a little chat, and it was just very, very lovely, and happy to spend his time and make his way around. There wasn't many of us standing there because I think it was just good timing. It was like 12:30 on the Saturday. If you were there picking up your tickets, and it was very lucky timing.
Perfect timing, wasn't it? I think I got there at like 12:40.
Oh no!
So close to that time, and we ran in and ran out because we just needed to. It's the one thing I stress about, because I'm like, if I don't go and get them before the show and something goes wrong, and you're sort of trying to juggle between gigs and festival tickets and then back to get ready without sweating.
Yeah, I know. That's why I go early. I pick them up, then I go get ready, stay cool. Sort it that way. And, it was just cool because I was with Mum. Mum was with me, and Josh and Hudson were as well. But Mum has always said to me that through my music, the only person she ever wants to have the opportunity to meet is Keith Urban.
And mission accomplished.
Mission accomplished. We ticked that off the list. And she said to me, she's like, I don't need to meet anyone ever again. Like, I don't. And my mum's not someone she doesn't fangirl over people or anything, but she was just like, I'm good now. There's plenty of people I'd love to meet, but she's like, I've met Keith. I'm happy.
Yep. Understandable too, but I love that every year we get to see your mum, and I didn't get to see your dad this year, but I got to see your mum quickly. It's one of my highlights, and even mum says that. She's like, "Oh, that's so lovely."
Yeah,
Yes, she absolutely loves it. And you know what she does to me every time now? Can we go to that place that Courtney told us about for tea?
Yeah, I went there for dinner.
So good you are. You might have, yeah.
My favourite spot in Tamworth.
So good, and it's always so busy.
Yeah.
Yes. Tamworth is finished. You came in this year a little bit later. Do you think did that work for you? Because I know you get to the end of Tamworth and you're absolutely exhausted, and it is very expensive. Did you feel like you had enough time to get around and do everything you wanted in those shorter days?
It was a whirlwind. I feel like you hit the ground running and you just roll with it. I think it worked really well for me this year, not having a major show. I think if I had a show earlier in the week, like the year before when I did Fierce and Fearless with Bonnie, it was nice to get there early, have the time to promote it and do stuff. So that worked really well. But I think for me this year, just being able to go do a couple of appearances and enjoy the festival and enjoy the music and get around and see some friends' shows as well was really, really nice. So I think both work well, but I think also it's nice to go for the second half, take the pressure off a little bit, exhaustion wise, emotionally, financially, all of the reasons. But
absolutely,
it's just such a great festival that once you're there, you're like, oh, I wish I was here for the whole thing.
I know, and I agree completely, but 10 days I just think I usually try and go for 6 to 7, and I don't think by the end of that 10 days, I think I'd just be absolutely wrecked. So it takes so long to recover from.
Yeah.
Everything.
Sleep.
Yes, I know, and vocals, and it's just huge. But every year it's worthwhile. So 2025, what have you got planned? You've smashed Tamworth. I know that you've got some really special things coming up, and I'm really excited for you. Have you got music? Are you sort of slowing down because you've got, your wedding and all those sorts of things going on? What's the plan?
Well, I always love, biting off more than I can chew. So obviously prepping for the wedding, which is exciting, but then also have been writing new music, have been in the process of that over the last month or so too. So have some new songs up my sleeve, just working out now when to get into the studio to record those. So there will be a new single coming in the next couple of months, which I'm very excited about. The songs we've got down already, I love. I think they're really fun, fresh. It feels very me, but just like a really nice chapter and season. I kind of every year it's like when I'm creating music, I feel like it's kind of a season of your life that you can then reflect on later, which is so it's nice to have these new ones. And I'm like, it feels really fresh and fun, and a good next chapter. So I'm very excited to work on those. So hopefully have some more info on that not too far away as I start really knuckling down and get in the studio, get recording, maybe a video. I haven't done a video in a little while, so that would be nice.
Yes. That's exciting to be able to do that. And your podcast, how is that going? Because I was so excited when I saw you put that first ad up for it. I was super excited. I thought you two would be perfect at that. How's it going?
Oh, thank you. It's been really fun. We decided early on, we're like, we'll do weekly episodes. And then when you start, you're like, this is actually quite a big
lot of work.
But other than having a break over Christmas, we've managed to keep that momentum up and have had guests every week essentially since what we started in, I think it was about May last year. So it's been a while, and it's been so great. The amount of insanely incredible people that we've had on the show that have stories that are just so cool. Because really the whole point of the podcast is we realize that we know so many awesome people. Everyone has a story. Everyone has an incredible story about where they've come from, how they've got to where they are now, what brought them to their career path or their passions and hobbies. And we're like, well, this would be a good idea for a podcast maybe. And then just by tapping into people I know, Josh knows, people that mutual friends know, it's been so fun. We've had such a diverse mix. We've had an astrophysicist, we've had therapists, we've had Olympians, we've had musicians, we had a doctor of medieval history this week. So it's been
that is awesome.
so diverse, and I feel like if other people aren't enjoying it, Josh and I are enjoying the fact that we get to talk to these people and be like, why this avenue? So it's been amazing.
I love it, and you both flow very well together. So it feels like when you're listening to it, it's very natural to listen to. But I'm like you. I love how hearing other people's stories and what got them to where they are. But listening to that, it's very similar to what we do in music, because that networking, it's incredible reach. With
Absolutely.
skills that people have, it's just so much fun learning.
Yeah, it's been great, and we're getting close to 50 episodes, which for us we kind of initially set the goal just like, let's get to 50 and then we'll reassess how we're going, see if we want to like push on, or kind of think about like, oh, maybe we go to bi-weekly or slow it down or just stick with it. So we'll reassess at I think the 50 mark, but we've still got plenty of amazing people that it's like every now and then we get to a lull where we're like, oh no, like we don't have someone for 2 weeks time, and then suddenly I'm like, oh, what about this person? Or Josh will be like, oh, actually no, we haven't talked to this person, so it's been amazing, and just so nice that people have been willing to jump on the show and want to be involved and let us pick their brains essentially about what on earth they're doing.
So good. And also the other side too, like if people listening, and especially if you're young and starting out, it shows what people can achieve, and it makes it. I think sometimes when we live in small towns or remote areas, we don't think we have the ability to do some of those amazing things. So hearing that people can take from that, look, if I can do it, you can.
Yeah.
And so it's just spreading that word and showing people that you can do what you want.
Yes, and pretty much every single person that we've had on has had their array of challenges and all have all this resilience because they've been through stuff. And it's like, well, it doesn't mean it was, good at the time when you went through those hard times, but it's now brought them to this point in their career or managed getting them to these different places to be able to meet these people and do this and that. So it's like, seeing the resilience level in pretty much every single person we've spoken to is amazing, because I think so often we go through stuff and probably feel very alone and like, well, like this is awful what I'm going through. And then you hear someone else that's also been through maybe something similar. Like we had an incredible breast cancer survivor and she's talking about that. And then other people are like, oh my gosh, I didn't feel so alone, knowing that, I could get through it too. So it's like that unity, which is very, very cool.
So special. And I agree, that hearing those stories, because I'm a bit of a believer in I'm not going to regret anything, because really it's a wasted emotion, because it doesn't actually fix anything and you can't do anything with regret. But two, you wouldn't be sitting here, we wouldn't be sitting here now having that conversation if all the things that we've done in life hadn't led to here. So the good and the bad are as important as each other. So hearing that other people have got through the bad to get there just reminds you that it is a human thing to do that.
Absolutely. So it's been awesome. It's been so good.
So special. We've got lots of people jumping in still. Chris said, what did you say, Chris? Super cool. Your mum. Oh, she's so down to your mum is beautiful. And Gary, best to pace yourself in Tamworth.
That's true.
And Ronnie said, Ronnie's saying new music. Can't wait. Me too. Yeah. And this is crazy. This is Kaz. Next year, 50th Tamworth.
Kaz, you don't look old enough to have been to Tamworth.
We need to do something to celebrate that. We have to. That is huge.
There needs to be a big celebration, Kaz. Yes. Come on.
We need to do a Kaz show, like a concert, like some sort of showcase.
That's amazing. That is so cool.
So good. And Jane's popped in to say good evening as well. I'm a bit slow on the comments today because I haven't got Scott behind the scenes. We really miss him. Are we allowed to talk about the wedding a little bit?
We can have a little chat about the wedding, yeah.
I know that you've been dress shopping, and it's actually, I know it's coming quickly. How are you going with plans? It's stressful, isn't it?
It's funny because I've worked in events a lot of my professional life aside from music. That side of it's been quite easy in terms of like putting the spreadsheet together and budgeting it all out. I think the stressful part is just like looking at it and being like, everything is so expensive.
You put wedding at the front of something and it seems to just
it's amazing. But a lot of it I've tried to like simplify as best I can. Like I did all my own wedding invitations because I use Canva all day, every day. So I was like, I could make those, so it's been fun, like doing a bit of DIY, but also then leaving it to the professionals where you need the professionals help, which has been really fun. So it's been a good process. I felt relatively calm. And I think because I did a lot of prep quite quickly early on, now I'm like, oh, it's coming up soon. I probably should do some of the more like finer details. So like that's my task over the next few weeks is like, okay, let's like drill down and see if there's any gaps. But it's been fun. Like dresses are sorted, everything's under control.
How hard was it to find the dress? Did you find it quickly? Because sometimes I find the right one just pops out of it quickly.
It did. It was a rather quick process. I think I found the dress like 2 weeks after I got engaged, completely unintentionally. So unintentional. Like I straight away, because the dress shopping part was what I was most excited for. I was like, exciting in the planning process. And I booked a few different places and booked to go to this one on the Central Coast because I had a family friend up from Melbourne who, if I lived in Melbourne still, I would have had her come along to shop with me. And she was in town. So I was like, well, why don't we just go to this local boutique, have a look, and I can get a bit of a feel for what I like, what I don't like. And then we ended up going in, and Candace, who owns Muse Bridal here on the Central Coast, was beautiful. She was so lovely and welcoming. She's like, just try everything, try whatever you want. And then, of course, the dress was in the mix there. And like I tried this one dress on and we were all just like, okay, I think we've just found the dress on the first day of look and 2 weeks after getting engaged. So so I ended up going back a couple of weeks later because I was like, look, we'll just wait, like sit on it, like look back at the photos. And then they ended up including in the sample sale as well, which got even like better. Like it was meant to be. So it was definitely one of those moments where it jumped out. And it's very pretty. I'm very, very excited to finally like show people, right? Like we had people, a few friends. I'm like, oh, do you want to see a photo? And they're like, am I allowed to? And I was like, well, I want to show people.
You've got to enjoy it. You're paying all that money for it. You enjoy it, and you only wear it one day, so you've really got to stretch it out.
Right. Exactly.
I remember when I was trying them on, I was so nervous to put those. They're beautiful, and I don't think I saw any that you couldn't say that about. But I was really nervous putting them on. I'm like, I don't want to do something wrong. And
I was going to tread on the skirt or something and like put a hole in it. Because they're stunning. They're beautiful. Like gorgeous. And like some of the detailing, it's amazing. I think bridal designers are they have such an intricate eye of how to like just make things very beautiful. So it was very fun, very fun. But I've got some cowboy boots to wear. So I've got boots to wear.
Lovely. I did that. I had a pair of RMs made.
Nice.
And back then, it was a long time ago, to have them made and designed like a one-off design, it cost $600. Best thing ever because I still wear them.
Yeah, because RMs last forever. That's awesome.
Exactly. It was so good. Oh, so your colour boots, are they to match or are they a bit of an out there?
I've got white boots. Yes. I was like, I don't want to do high heels. I want to wear boots. I wear boots all day, every day, most of the time. I'm a boot person. So I thought, why not, be comfortable and enjoy the shoe I'm wearing. And you don't really see them anyway. They're under the dress, but at least I'll know.
That's one thing I always think. If you're going to be in a wedding and you've got your dress that long, don't be uncomfortable underneath because nobody sees it anyway. So don't worry. Yep,
totally. I was like, boots it is.
Exactly. Well, it is so exciting. I cannot wait to see the photos, and I know that it will be beautiful. It doesn't matter. I always say to people get so nervous and they want it to be just perfect, but sometimes the parts that aren't perfect are the best bits. So just let it roll.
And that's what I thought. I'm like, what's the, like, I shouldn't say this and jinx myself, but like, what's the worst that can happen on the day? Like in terms of like organization, like what, the caterer doesn't turn up, you'll find something else, you order pizzas. Like, you know, I think that there's nothing that I'm that precious about other than the fact that we need to get married. That's the main thing.
That's the important bit. That's right. Yes. The rest will just be,
exactly.
It'll all be a story. Kaz just said she's been a bridesmaid 7 times. Oh my gosh. Have you still got the dresses? Because that's always interesting. How do you go? Have you chosen your bridesmaids, or have you let them do a bit of that, or not ready yet?
Both. We kind of tried on a bunch, like, because I picked the color scheme and stuff like that, and that, like, with their input, because I was like, I want you guys to like it as well. I'm not the one having to wear it. So then we kind of just did a bit of shopping together, and then we found some, and then also my little hack was like we found some and like got them delivered, and then we need to change sizing slightly. And then I was like, why don't I check Facebook Marketplace and see if there's any, because most of these dresses, they're worn for like 6 hours, dry cleaned, and then never worn again. So then we ended up getting both the dresses we wanted for the girls.
Oh my gosh.
On Facebook Marketplace for a third of the price of what we would have paid if they were new. So a little bit of upcycling as well, and better for the environment when,
Exactly. I love this. I love hearing all your stories, but it's going to be a lovely day, and I hope that when when you've gotten over it all and got to see some of your photos, I hope you pop some up on your pages so that we can enjoy watching it. But just enjoy every moment of it.
Thank you.
I will. It's like a flash, and it just goes so quickly. But I just remember thinking, I have to remember and live in the moment. That was the way. Really present. Yeah, absolutely. Yes. So new music, recording studio, wedding, tours. Have you got any big announcements that you've already announced coming up? I know you were applying for some festivals and things. What can we expect for you to see?
Got a couple of shows. I'm looking to do some regional shows, actually. So that's kind of what we're in the process of looking at the moment, to kind of get out on the road and do some shows. So if anyone has any towns or areas that you'd like to come to, or any ideas, pop it in the chat. Let me know, or get in touch. Send me a message if you think you've got a really great venue, near you, a great town hall or something like that, or a great pub. Let me know, because I'm wanting to get out and about more, get into the countryside a little bit more, and just see some incredible places that we have to offer in this country. It's incredible. So yes, Melody. Okay, thanks, Kaz.
Kaz wrote back about the dresses. She said she's still got some of them, and that your auntie made most of them. How beautiful!
That's amazing.
Is she still sewing at 92? What a beautiful age to get to, if you can still do the things that you love. I would love to be able to make dresses and things, but I just don't have the creative, and I can't picture it.
I just don't have the patience. I don't have the patience to then make it. I get the idea, and then I just want it done now.
Yes, exactly. Oh, Kaz has put a venue as well, Penny Lane.
Okay. Let me look that up. I'm going to look that up.
I haven't heard of Penny Lane.
I haven't heard of Penny Lane either.
No, it's exciting.
Right. But that's the thing. I want to find some new places, get out, play, probably do some acoustic style shows. Got a couple of things booked already. I'll be heading up Grafton Way in September. So we'll put some stuff around that, and then hopefully just, do some weekends here and there, and just move around a little bit, go for a bit of a road trip. So
exciting.
So have plenty more to announce soon as those all start coming together. That's been kind of the new project. So
can't wait. So you said that you're planning on doing a film clip for one of them. How are you going with the planning of that? Because I know you like to get into that. Is that something you've started planning already?
I've kind of put a little bit of thought to it, but I think a lot of that will more come together once I can hear it really in the studio and get a bit more of the musical direction of it. But couple of little ideas floating around already, but it's fun. The storyboarding and working out locations and outfits, that's the really fun part.
I know. Yes, that is the best fit, isn't it? And then it's amazing how much on the day you have your storyboard and everything ready, and then all of a sudden it's like, we're just going to do this, and it just completely changes all that work.
Really, and that's when you're with a good director, like they're just like, hey, why don't we just try this? And you're like, oh yeah, okay, let's try that, and then it works so well. Yeah,
so good. Now, where's the best place for us to follow you at the moment? Because you are so good with social media, but I know Facebook, Instagram. What's your preferred one at the minute?
Any of them really. I feel like I spend more time on Instagram than Facebook, but I try to, whatever I post on one, I try to mirror it across the other. So wherever you are, hopefully you'll see it. I'm very ad hoc with TikTok. I'm trying to be better, but I'm not. I'm not doing TikTok, but I'm getting there. It's hard work. I feel like trying to be creative all the time and find something funny, and so I'm trying. But I am on TikTok too. So if you look me up, you should be able to find me. I've got my website as well. If you get stuck, that's got all the links to everything.
That is so good to know. And you know what? When we finish the show, or any time really, make sure you let us know where's a good venue and where it is. And it's so helpful because I do a lot of bookings for people, and just to know the ins and outs of that area, having that inside knowledge, let us know. We love that. It's so good.
Absolutely. Well, I'll be hitting you up, Danny, to let me know where I should come visit in Tasmania.
Definitely. I have lots of lovely places that I can recommend, that's for sure.
Yeah,
but thank you for joining us again tonight. We finally got there.
We did it.
But please come back for your single when you start releasing again. And maybe we'll have to do a post-wedding show.
Yes, I love it. We can debrief.
Go through all of it. We can do that. That sounds
wrong. Tears.
Yes. Oh, is that worrying you? Do you get emotional when you get down that aisle, or are you pretty good?
No, I'm actually very unsure about whether I will or not. The jury's out, because I feel like I can get emotional at really beautiful moments, but then also I feel like in certain moments I can just be very focused as well. Like I didn't cry when I got engaged. I'm more like afterwards was like, that just happened. But I thought I would cry. So I'm not sure. It depends.
Did it surprise you?
Yes.
Did it actually come as a surprise?
I think I was more shocked. I was shocked, so the tears didn't kick in because I was like, what? So it'll be interesting to see. It'll be interesting.
We'll have to do a video, and then we might have to turn it into a film clip later in case something, or even a bloopers if something goes wrong. It's funny. We can watch and enjoy.
Yeah. Half the time, all the things that go viral is a wedding fail. So maybe that's just what we need on social media, on TikTok.
Exactly right. It's amazing what does go viral on social media.
It is.
Oh, dear. Thank you again for coming to join us. It's been lovely having you. We will be back next week. And I think because we had to postpone last night's show, I think like next week, I think we're going to hit our 500th show. So next week is a big week. I cannot believe 500 shows. Where did that happen?
Wow.
Isn't it?
That's great.
It's huge. And I had to count them. Even though I had all the videos there, it was telling me, I'm like, maybe it's wrong. And we have 500 there, nearly 500. So, wow, I cannot believe it. But thank you all for watching, because if you guys didn't join us, we couldn't do it. So it's lovely that you're here, and we just love what we're doing with Country Kickback. And so thank you. And thank you, Courtney. We love having you on every time.
Oh, thanks for having me. And thank you, everyone that tuned in and said hello. Have a great evening.
Yes, you too. We'll see you all next week. Have a great night, everybody.